welcome back to my channel. So I ended up having a pinky nail there fall off, so I'm actually going to show you guys how I do these press-ons using gel polish and hard gel. So I got these press-ons from Amazon. I find they're actually really good. They have bad reviews, but they work pretty well for me so far. And most of the nails have lasted over a week period. I'm not sure how long they're going to last, but we'll see. I'm hoping they'll last at least up to 2 to 3 weeks because that's the purpose for it, is to be able to change them. I already fitted the size of the pinky. Some of them you do need to specially file down on the sides there. That's basically, I'm just showing you what I did. I filed down the sides and a little bit of the ends where the cuticle would fit, just to fit perfectly to my shape, because they're not all the same fingers, so you do need to do that. And I just clean it up using this buffer brush, because you'll get little pieces fraying off and you don't want that stuck in your nail when you apply it. So I start off by filing the tip, the inside. It is a bit hard to do if you only have a nail file. So I use my drill and I file away probably about more than halfway up the nail, even if I'm not going to have that long a nail, because the gel does rise to the top a little bit, kind of making like a false tip under the gel. If you don't clean it up properly, so it can get hard to stick. So this helps create a better grip for the gel polish to the base to stick, and then to apply the hard gel. So I'm just cleaning it off with a brush because I was too lazy to use a nail polish remover or alcohol to clean it off, but typically you would want to do that just so any dust doesn't get in and under your nail when you apply it. But that's basically, you can't really see what it looks like, but it's all scratched up and it's not as shiny anymore. It takes away that shine. And then you want to do that to your nail, buff it out a little bit as well. I use, I believe, 180 grit nail file and 100 grit nail file, just to create a bunch of different scratch grid sizes for it to attach to the gel polish better. And so I just go ahead and do this all around the nail with the nail file rather than a drill. And then I switched to my higher grit one just to create bigger scratches in there, to see if that helps with creating it last longer. And then I go in with my nail prep. It just dehydrates the nail so that no oils are left on it. And I just apply that before applying the base coat. So I'm just using my Tomica base coat, and that last prep was from Red Carpet Ready, which is a drugstore brand. This one is from Amazon. And I just apply it all around the nail, cleaning it up so that it doesn't get stuck to my nail, and then cure it for 30 seconds. I then go in and put that base coat on the press-on nail as well, just so it gives a better sticky surface for the hard gel to adhere to. So I'm using this IBD hard gel from Sally's, same with the IBD brush there. I believe it's a number 6 flat brush, and you just use it with the gel polishes. I just go ahead and do a thin layer on both the nail and the press-on nail, and I also do a dollop size of this also in the middle of the nail to help create a better build for the curve of the press-on. You obviously don't want to do too thick of a layer, but you don't want to do too thin of a layer, depending on what you're wanting. You can also use these as a form of actual, like a polygel style, where you can take off the tip and leave the gel under. So depending on how you're doing it, you'd want it to be thicker. But with this, I like it to be like a medium to light type of thickness, just because I want the nail to stick on, and because it is curved, it actually helps create a better surface for it to stick to my natural nail, and it just looks a lot better. So once I'm happy with the press-on and I clean up the edges and there's no bubbles within the nail, I keep my finger on that nail because it will want to move on you. and I end up just curing it for like a good 30 seconds, throwing it on top just to help hold it in place before I just leave my hand under there, because you want something holding it down because it will pop up. Bubbles create under there, so they just pop right up and you'll ruin what you have on there and it won't be a smooth surface anymore. And despite the press-on being smooth itself on the surface, you still want under the nail to be smooth and coherent as well to your natural nail, because if there's bubbles, it can create infection if stuff gets under it and in between the bubbles. If not, it can also help create that lift and it won't last as long. I just go in with these nail clippers that I actually got from the dollar store, and I clip the nail to the size that I want. I do clip it a bit higher than the other nail if I'm doing a one that's being refilled or a newly press-on that I'm doing, like this just one pinky, because I want to be able to file it down to the size of the other pinky and work on it that way. So I just go in with my 100 grit and 180 grit. I work between the two. It doesn't really matter to me sometimes, unless it's the last step. I'll go in with like a buffer, but that's about it. I file it to the shape that I want to either match the other nail, or if I'm doing an all new set, I just, same thing, matching the nail or doing what I want with it and filing it to where I'm happy. You will also have to file the press-on shine coat off from the top if you're wanting to use a gel polish. I believe if you use a nail polish, you won't need to do that. It might create more bumps if you do that, but with the gel polish, it actually helps it stick a lot better, even if you do a base coat under. So you just want to file all around till you're happy with the shape, and then the top layer is filed off. And then you can go in either with the file to file around the cuticle to where it's more smoothly coherent with your cuticle. Or if you want to use a drill like I'm going to, then you can do that as well. Whatever works best for you or whatever you have at home, you can use. I do kind of both sometimes. So that's basically what I do before I do the gel polish and all the prep for it. So here I'm just going to blend out where I used the drill on the cuticle and where I used the file on the rest of the nail, just to give a better smooth and even surface. And then I just go in with the drill under the nail to clean it up, because I am one of the more lazier type of people, so I just kind of clean it up mildly, and I don't really smooth it out under like I should, but it still works well for me. And then I just go in with the Tomica base coat and do a base coat on that before I go in with 2 coats of the gel polish I chose. I just cure that for 30 seconds as well, and then I will put that first coat on, cure it for 30 seconds, and then the second coat of gel polish I will cure for 60 seconds before I do the top coats. So now I'm going in with this London Drugstore brand, Red Carpet Ready Brilliance top coat. It works really, really well, and it actually makes it glow in the light, which is really, really cool. So it just looks pure like green glowing. But I do 2 coats of that, 30 seconds on the first one, and then 60 seconds when I'm finally finished with everything. And then I have to wipe it because it is a sticky coat on the end. It's not one that you don't need to wipe. So that is something you'll need, either nail polish remover or an alcohol to wipe it off. But that is what the finished product looks like basically before I give it a little cleanup there. Sometimes you'll have to do that, and typically I will file the corners of the cuticles again, but I was happy with it, so I left it. So this is the finished product. I actually really highly recommend it. They're clear tips because that's what you'll need if you want to use it with a gel polish, because it's able to actually cure through it because it's clear. It won't work with an opaque colored tip or press-on. But I really hope you enjoyed this video and would want to do this yourself. It's really easy. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Have a good day. Bye.